So you want to know who to main in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. With a very unique cast of 17 characters, the decision can feel quite daunting, especially if you've not played the previous Fatal Fury game or other SNK titles. So allow me to give you a brief rundown on each character, and then you can decide which one might fit your desired playstyle. Before we do that though, the absolute most important thing when it comes to choosing a character to main in any game is to consider, who do you think looks the coolest? Whose design do you look at and think, yeah, this is sick? Because to me, that is the most important thing when choosing a main. You're going to be spending countless hours with these characters, so you want to make sure it's a character you like the look at. Make sure you try them out and don't feel the pressure to commit to any character if you don't like them. There's plenty of other characters to try and choose from. With that out of the way, let's get a brief look at this colorful cast and break them down into various categories to help narrow down your options. Starting things off, do you like jack of all trade style characters with tools or options for any situation? Without clear defining strengths and or weaknesses? Then you might like characters such as Rock Howard, Utaru, or Marco Rodriguez. These well-rounded characters have strong fireball options to control the screen, but also some tricky close to mid-range pressure to keep the opponent guessing. Rock has an air and ground fireball he can use to control the screen, and an interesting command run with multiple follow-ups which can mix up your opponent in block strings. Marco has a fast and strong fireball combined with a very fast standing overhead he is able to combo from into some really mean damage. And finally, Hotaru has a solid fireball, has the ability to reflect her opponent's fireballs, and can set up some really nasty tick throw situations from her various plus on block special moves into her highly damaging command grab. But perhaps you want a character with some more defining traits, giving up some of that full screen presence for some up close brutality. If what I just said sounds interesting to you, then you might want to consider picking up characters like Preacher, Terry Bogard, Kevin Rain, or Vox Reaper. These characters like to bully their opponent up close with their very strong frame trap and tick throw situations. They offer a very explosive playstyle with strong special move and rev arts that are able to close the gap between themselves and the opponent very quickly while leaving themselves an advantage on block, and are absolutely lethal on counter hit. For example, Preacher can use her rev art hyperbolic kick, a very deadly special in the mid-range which can close the gap extremely quickly, leaving her at a really good advantage to allow her to start her offensive pressure sequences. Terry can make use of either rev art crack shoot or burning knuckle to the same effect as Preacher, and has some insanely high damaging combos if they do manage to hit. Vox has a near unreactable half-screen lariat which is a menace to play around. It leaves him with a large advantage on block into a command grab mix-up, and can absolutely blow your opponent up if they fail to check it. Kevin seems to have slightly less explosive special moves, if you pardon the pun, but can still close the distance quickly with his projectile avoiding roll and plus on block rev art hell arrest. And if he does manage to find the hit, well, there's very little chance of you actually surviving, as he has some of the highest damage output in this game. Maybe explosiveness isn't for you though, and you want some more delicate movement-based gameplay. Do you want characters that are able to move around the screen in a variety of ways and look good while doing it? Well, if that's something more up your alley, then I would simply recommend characters like Mai Shiranui, Bijane, King Don Juan, and Hokotumaru. Each of these characters will offer a relatively high-speed gameplay with various grounded and aerial movement options which their neutral game will revolve around. Mai has a fast ground speed with unique ground-to-air command jumps and air-to-ground dive kicks, which are very scary to challenge as they can lead to big conversions on counter hit. Bijane has a unique breakable ground-to-air special that can lead to very ambiguous cross-up situations. She has a unique glide special move in the air, which she could even do out of her backdash, making her a very hard character to lock down. Kim has various air special moves and air supers, which are able to mix up his air momentum Razy style. Your opponent will be left guessing left or right constantly on his jumps with his various feints. And finally, Hokotumaru has a double jump without any downsides. On top of that, he has various ways to stall his air momentum, including a teleport which will track to the opponent's location, and of course he has the speed to match his ninja aesthetics. If instead you prefer characters whose game plan revolves around keeping yourself as far away as possible and using your controlling tools to make it hell for your opponents to try and approach, then I would recommend Kane, Billy, or even Marco Rodriguez, as they all have very strong long-range controlling tools and or projectiles. Kane is able to use his Schwarze Flame to throw out a large fireball while also retreating. He can throw these out to cover various angles, for example the ground and the sky, or even both at the same time. He also has a very strong defensive flash kick anti-air to be able to catch his opponents jumping. Billy uses his very large cane to bully you from the neutral, and uses his extremely long range heavy punch, which can be cancelled on hit or block, into various special moves or even feints. And the really scary thing is, if you do manage to get clipped by this near full screen normal, you're in for a world of hurt. He has very high damage for his archetype of character. Marco's projectile is definitely one of the best in the game if you're looking at keeping your opponent at bay. It has a very fast speed combined with a high hitbox, which makes it really great for catching people out of jumps. And he even has a feint which looks exactly like the fireball, so you can really play those mind games with your opponent. For an authentic grappler experience, you'd need to look no further than the one and only T-Zoc. If you love grappler style characters who revolve around wrestling your opponent with various very strong command grabs and large threatening normals, then you already know what you're looking for, and you don't need me to tell you that it's T-Zoc. But if you do enjoy grappler style characters, but you don't particularly vibe with T-Zoc, then there are a few other characters who represent strong command grabs for their mix-up games. Like Fox Reaper, Kevin Rain, or even Hotaru are able to convert their command grabs into some really big damage. The final category of characters are for the players who maybe want something a little bit different. Characters who offer a very unique gameplay that can't be compared to the rest of the cast. If something like that appeals to you, then I would suggest you try Salvatore Ganacci, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Gatto. Salvatore Ganacci, I mean, what can I say? Just look at him. Just look at him. If you wanted a joke character, if you like playing joke characters in fighting games, then this guy is it. But don't let him deceive you either, because he has some really strong aerial options and some really funky mix-ups using his aptly named magical step. Cristiano Ronaldo is playing a whole different game. I mean, literally. It's like trying to play a fighting game and football at the same time. He has some insanely high APM trying to juggle both the ball and the opponent at the same time. It's a very unique design, the type of character you could lab for hours on end. And finally, Gatto. Gatto has a very interesting playstyle. He's a fast character with a plethora of pretty complex special moves like his Wind Fang, a jumping attack with a variety of different follow-ups to mix the opponent up, but with the addition of his backturn stance, it also gives him quite a unique way to mix up the opponent with some strong strike throw pressure. Or he can even use it to extend combos in some pretty cool ways. And there we go. That's a very brief overview of all the characters in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Hopefully you have a better idea on the character you might want to play. And if I just made all the characters seem really fun and interesting, and you want to try them all, then I'm afraid you're just going to have to play the game and get practicing. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe to make sure you stick around, as in the future we'll be releasing more detailed specific character guides for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves.